Cool. So hello, everyone. This is going to be a very, very brief session on how to integrate the Holochain Playground into an application, a Holochain application project. You're going to see in a minute, but basically the Playground is a toolkit of tools to help with integration, simulation, and playful times with Holochain. And what we are going to do today is to take Where, which is one of the more up-to-date Holochain applications out there. Eric Harris-Brown did a beautiful session, and also Damien in Holochain-in-Action a few weeks ago. So we are going to take Where, and we are going to integrate the Holochain Playground, and we are going to look into what that's like. So any questions before I jump in, or I should share screen directly? I think I just go ahead. Okay, let's see. So, can you see my screen well? You should be able to. Okay, so this is Where, right? Normal latest main. I didn't do anything else than entering the initial. So I'm going to go, and the Playground is now packaged in an npm package, which you can download and then execute as a CLI. So there are two ways of running the conductor, running the Playground. First, I want to give a brief clarification, because this is a point which people can get stuck. So the Playground is a toolkit, and it has two basic modes. One is simulated, and the new one is a connected mode, right? So when I go to the Playground here, this is a simulation of Holochain. These are not real nodes running, right? That, like, all these entries are simulated in this browser, right? The new thing is that now all this introspection and visualization can be pointed to a real conductor, and you can see everything that's happening, right? So that's the idea. So this CLI tool is specifically to point to real conductors.
Question. In the first line here, when you say running it directly pointing to a conductor, you've got, are those multiple conductors that it's pointed to, or is one the admin port and the other the out port?
Those are two conductors. Both need to be the admin ports.
Okay.
I think the Playground derives the app port inside, because from the admin port, like calling the admin interface, you can derive the other one. But I mostly don't need the app one. I am using basically the admin one. I think this is cool for one-time demos and things like that, but I think the main use case as of now is this one, which is setting an npm development environment that uses the HC sandbox. Right, and this looks like this is basically the same as this, but this doesn't set any URLs to the Holochain Playground command. So the Holochain Playground command knows how to look for the specific files in your folder that have been generated from running HC generate to connect to those conductors, right? So that's the idea. So we are going to.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I like it. We are going to integrate it in Where. Any questions as of now? Oh, good. Okay. So I'm going to install it. Let's see. This is npm, so package.json. Okay, let me see. Careful, because in previous times, I thought that doing this was fine, which is every time that you start an application, you clean all the HC files, right? Not for them to get to the, not for your folder to get overloaded. Actually, I had a problem with this, which is I basically had this. And this had a really cool side effect, which is when I run npm start twice, it would do HC clean the first time, nothing happens because no sandbox has been created. The second time, it would run. The HC clean would basically delete the database for the first one that was already running. So the Holochain would run out of database and would crash. And I was really confused. I spoke with Tom Gowan from the Holochain core team. And from that conversation, yeah, you don't really do that. I'm saying be careful with this because that assumption was baked also into the scaffolding tool. And the scaffolding tool in previous versions had this HCS clean in there, and you might have some problem with that. I fixed it, I think, quick enough, but just that as a warning. Okay, sorry about that. Now, we have an advantage here, which is Where has already this really cool network script in which you do npm run network 3. And this will boot up a network, a Holochain network of 3 agents connecting to each other, and also the UI and everything, right? So we are just going to extend that, really. I'm going to also install this little package, singleton CLI, which will allow us to not have multiple Holochain playgrounds running. And now I'm going to create a new npm script, which is Holochain Playground, right? So this is exactly what I'm suggesting here. The difference is that I'm going to do it with run singleton. And what this does basically is that no matter how many times I do npm run playground, it's only going to run once. So what I want is one playground instance connected to multiple nodes, right? I don't want multiple playgrounds, one per each node, right? That makes sense.
It's not saving your file, by the way.
Yeah, I noticed that. Thanks. Okay, so with that, the only other thing that we need to do is in start agent. In start agent, what we do is run deb libs, run start. Like this is basically run concurrently the UI and the backend. So we are going to also run concurrently the playground, right? And in theory, we should be done.
Can you put that into agent proxy as well, so we have it in both?
Yep. So let's see, npm run network 3. Let's try with 3. I'm not sure. This may be going to be compiling. I should have compiled before. Let's hope that it's quick enough.
It shouldn't take too long because it's just a DNA.
If you want, you could pause the recording and then we can resume when everything's awesome.
Everything is awesome. Na 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 na. I just paused the recording. I love the Lego movie, by the way.
I love that song. Everything is awesome.
It's so upbeat and so catchy, but then at the same time it's so horrifying and terrible.
It's definitely a propaganda for like being part of a team and submission in a really weird way that's weirdly good and bad at the same time. Because everything is awesome when you're part of a team, right? That's the line.
Have you seen the movie, Eric? Because it's playing on all the levels too.
Exactly.
Like it's ironic. It's you know, it's down on the man and the system, but then you know he joins the team that's fighting the system, and so then you're part of the team, and their song's playing again. You know, I love it.
It's pretty good.
When somebody first told me to see the Lego movie, I was like, "You're an idiot. I'm unfriending you." But turns out they were right.
Bueno, it's taking a long time just fetching from crates.io. What's up with that?
That's a little weird.
Not running a VPN or anything?
No. Okay.
Do you want to create a branch and
Sure.
and push it, and then I can pull it and see what it looks like on mine?
Yeah. Describe status. Okay, so this is create new branch playground. Okay, branches playground.
If I do npm install, it should install everything now because you would have updated the packages.
Yep.
Okay, so now I should be able to just do npm run start, right? Is that?
Wait. So I'll. Okay. Okay. Do you want to share screen?
Oh, I'm not sure mine is going to be any faster than yours, but we can try it. Let's see. Let's find out here. So, so I just pulled. Kian did pushed a branch, and so I'm going to do npm run start, and I'm not sure if mine is going to compile any faster. Maybe it will. Look. Yes, there it is.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Kill it. Can you kill it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's really npm run network 3.
Oh, that's right. That's what it is. Run network 3. Okay. Wait, did something just exit with 0? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Can you go back to the? Why does it say it's in the main branch?
Did I not? It would be important to change branches, right? Well, and if yours finishes compiling, we can just switch back to you. We check out playground and install.
Yeah, mine has a bit to go still.
Okay. Right, npm run network 3. Woo.
Okay, so that's the playground. Cool. Those are the 3 nodes.
Okay. All right. So this is where. So here's the playground.
Right. And then
so there's 3 different nodes.
Those are the 3 different nodes. Those are all the entries that the names are overlapping a bit, but you can move them around, move them so that they don't interfere with one another. Okay. You can click on one entry if you want to see the contents.
All right. Oh, this is freaking awesome. Okay, let's go and let's create an avatar. And so this will be Zippy1. And let's go back to the playground and see. Whoa! This is freaking awesome. Look at this.
What does where do?
I have no idea.
What are all these?
No, I'm sure what these are is all the default entries that didn't show up immediately.
Okay.
Right? So because where creates, like the first time you run, it goes and it creates all of these default entries, right? So it creates a bunch of spaces, and there's going to be all the links between them. This is kind of why I wanted to use where, because I wanted to. There's a reasonable amount of material automatically created.
Okay. So, go to visible entries.
This one?
No, in the DHT entries block, there is a selector on the right. Visible entries. Okay, it's not the best UI, but unselect basically. Like you can unselect entries that you don't want to see to have a clearer picture.
Okay, that's really interesting.
Then you can also, okay, so those are the profiles. Here, what do we have? Here we have the where maps, right?
So this is
origin,
templates.
templates, abstract. Okay, that's a map.
Yeah, blob tree. Right. So this is a space. Oh, this is really cool. So you can see
then
then
you can select one of the nodes. Down below, right, and you see the source chain.
Cool. All right, this is good because so this node created all of the template data. It's the first node that came on, and this one is only going to have a little bit of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, this is awesome. All right, let's fire up a second one and see what happens. So this would be Zippy2, and it better not create a whole other set of nodes. We'll probably find like errors. So this one is like that. Like, no, it did. It duplicated everything. Look at that.
It did, yeah.
Doing its job.
Which it can't, it really shouldn't do that.
No. But the cool thing is that the entries, like we have basically the same entries. On the right? In the DHT, you have basically the same entries because they have basically been duplicated.
Yeah, because they have the same hashes. So
okay, so now
the hashes, if you could see the if you could show the headers,
exactly. Go inside, like go down to that center of the you see two headers always. There are two headers always pointing to the same entry.
Yeah.
All the entries here. Exactly.
Oh, this is incredibly beautiful. Oh man, I wonder what this would look like if you hooked it up to Elemental Chat with 72,000 or 32,000 chats. I think this would probably break.
Probably. Haven't tried it. That's
okay,
but
what happens if you show entry contents? Oh, look at this. Holy bananas.
Okay, it's a bit saturated.
My goodness. Yeah, that's a little too much. Let's see if I go over to this one here. So this is showing spaces in the DHT that are linked together, right?
This is showing everything in the DHT. And I think it's better if you actually unselect everything, like or go inside that little slice of the graph. Yeah, the UX is a bit awful there, but yeah, okay. If you go there, so you have, okay, what do we have here? SVG marker. So you have, oh yeah, the resize doesn't really work that well. You can refresh if you want. Yep, and then show entry contents again. You can maximize that actually if you want to. On the right side. Exactly, yeah. Okay. And we go deep.
Wow, this is.
It even does the void. How in the earth I might add?
How did it do
what?
This?
I have no idea.
UTF, probably, right? Just a
Yeah,
character.
Probably.
Yeah.
But wow.
It's awesome.
Okay.
Because one of the things that Where does is it creates emoji groups. And So it's the emoji groups is pointing to two emoji. Oh, let's do this. This will be fun. Let's go back to Where for a second. This is just so totally awesome. So we can pick one of these Wheres and let's like fork Ecuador, fork the space, and let's make it be a new emoji set. And so an emoji subset would be, fruit. So fruit, and let's pick a bunch of fruits. Boink, 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 and hit OK, and say OK, and then we go back to the playground. And do I have to refresh or something?
You shouldn't need to.
Did I make a mistake? Did it work?
We selected a bunch of things. Would we have to somehow select the new emoji group?
I was assuming that it would just pop up next to the emoji group. Like, well, let me try reloading and see if
okay, let's see. Maybe I have a bug.
Where did these things go? Oh, I wanted to do show entry
Zippy,
contents.
yeah.
Well, there they are now.
There it
the
is.
fruits.
Okay, interesting.
Wow.
I'll look a bit into that, but all the other stuff did work reactively. That's interesting.
Yeah, so this is the SVG marker. It's really cool to see these linked spaces in the graph.
Yeah. Yeah. Then you have like the all profiles, like you can see the paths, how the paths are. Oh, look at that, look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay,
Right.
so you set first nickname ZP2, second nickname CP1. And here we are seeing the design of the profiles zone, which is you have an all profiles path, and then you have another path with only the 3 first letters to do search. And since both of the nicknames are the same, only one all profiles.zip exists.
Okay, so let me try to do another one on this one, and I'll pick, something weird, like, wait a second, I should pick a different, do I have a picture that looks different? I don't know, these are all, okay, here we go. This would be, let's do Herbert. Okay, and let's go back to the playground. Looks like things
that did work, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have, yeah, exactly.
So how does this work? Okay, so there's Herbert.
Yeah, okay.
I really have to kind of move this in here. So there's all profiles that has Herbert down one branch and Zippy down another branch. Yeah, because it's profiles.zip. Exactly. And this is profiles.her.
Exactly, yeah. And this is the way that profiles does the search. You have to provide the three first letters for the search.
Yeah.
And then it does get links on that path.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. So, boy, this is pretty neat.
Yeah, I just want to throw in, like, this, to me as a HApp developer, this is game changing, like really next level in terms of really being able to learn as I go and more deeply understand all of the mechanics that are going on and understand bugs, as we've seen already, and like ways to optimize. Very cool.
This is really cool. So you're totally going to need like something to auto arrange. That's going to be an important thing. I mean, it looks like you already have something that does that. But for any complicated DHT, I don't know, how do we solve that auto arrange problem? That's a really interesting question.
Like if you go to Citoscape, they have like 20 different layouts that you can choose from. Like it may be the type of layout I'm using. I just changed it today, and I was hoping that it worked better than it is working, as we are seeing right now. Or maybe it's a matter also of configuring that layout a bit better also. But like that's a matter of twinkling around, and right now this is at a place in which it's like MVP. You can already use it and it works well, but there are a lot of places of improvement and cool new components and blocks that we can pull in. The other block that we haven't seen, if you close this one up, the other block that we haven't seen, it's on the upper right, you minimize it or whatever. It's on the right of entry contents, you have conductor admin, right? That's if you select a cell, so a node.
One of these guys? Oh, no. Wait.
Yeah, those ones. Oh, that's a bug. Interesting. You didn't. Okay. That's a bug. Thanks. Can you refresh and try that again?
Yeah.
I'll try to reproduce that. Click and then conductor admin.
Okay.
Right. So you have list of cells. And also in the future, you could have admin API, which would be like cloning DNAs and things like that. Another very cool block that I want to add is the one that calls functions.
Yeah, so kind of, yeah, where you can do a manual call of a function.
Yeah, but for that, I need introspection, like I need app info to return the entry signatures.
Yeah, and that's coming. That's coming. There's been a lot of talk on that. So, wow, this is amazing, DM. This is really awesome.
As I said before, I didn't think it would be like at the beginning of previous week. I was like, yeah, okay, let's refactor the playground to be able to connect to the real conductor, like hApps. It's going to be not that much an effort, and it's going to help people understand and so on. And then on Sunday, I booted it up, and I was like, okay, I'm playing with Holochain now. Like having the experience, there is something to it, and it's like I don't know if it's the visual, like it's a visual, obviously, but it's like
no, it's more than that though, because well, it really is easy to see the graph, but there's something, I don't know, I mean, I'm already thinking of tons of features I want you to add. Like, we really want to see when you click on one of these, I want to know which things in the DHT were that particular person, right? So, like,
go again.
So if you have an agent, right? You want to be able to click on the agent and then know who created. Like you can see that with the headers. But like they should be color coded, and like you should be able to tell which agent created which things in the DHT. This would be useful. And the other thing that would be interesting is like how we can do stuff like infer this agent is this agent name, because it's hard to see this. Like there'll be some interesting. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up already. But this is already cool. I mean, I guess when you do show only the active, this is the shard, but that's right now this is fully sharded. There's not a shard.
Exactly.
On this one, although I could set up a shard, right? That works. You can do it. You just haven't been playing with that yet. Oh, wow. Okay.
That feature, sorry, Harlan, just a point. That feature is useful when you have some gossip problem with Holochain. Right, so you put 3 nodes and they are not talking to each other. So you do show only active agent chart, and you say, okay, it's really the profiles entry that's not being gossip because the image. And things like that. That's where it's useful. Harlan?
Just an observation. Comparing this to the previous playground, I think the biggest difference is actually not the simulated, let's see, it's not that there was something wrong with the simulation that makes it different from the real thing. It's that you had to manually enter some things into the playground in the old one. And here you're seeing your real live application as you're running it through the UI, which is a totally different ballgame.
Can you speak a little bit about how you're interpreting the contents? Because like that's going to get problematic. A lot of times the context gets turned into binary.
What I'm doing right now is that Holochain stores entries in a byte array directly, right? Encoded in message pack. So I'm decoding that. I'm decoding that by default. And then what I'm doing is that decoding gives me a normal JavaScript object, and I'm iterating through the properties recursively to build that tree. So in this instance, what you're seeing is a JSON object with the fields name, surface, origin, and meta. And then inside meta, you have an object with contact, marker, and so on. Like actually, you can click on that entry and go to the entry contents and see what's there. It's easier that way. Like if you click on the entry, which is the gray area, and then entry contents. Like the entry content, exactly. You see, so there is the name field in that JSON object, the origin, the surface, the meta, etc. Right? So
this happens to work well because, this is interesting, it resized it like that. it happens to work well because the way I'm storing the data in this particular thing is as a JSON object.
Not really, no. Any entry that you commit into Holochain gets serialized into.
No, yeah. So the only thing that's a JSON object is the surface here. And so the surface doesn't work well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, it's the opposite of that, right? Oh, that's because I did that. Okay, fascinating. Because basically, where is unopinionated about what the surface is going to look like, because we wanted to make that flexible and not have that coded into the structure. But wow. And so, but if you did code it into the structure, then all of that stuff would be available inside that tree as well. Fascinating. And you just laid this stuff out as a grid, or the layout laid the thing out as a grid, which is why it works so well with the characters.
Yep.
Because this is an array, and the array just got laid out as a grid.
Yeah, this is all the layouts, like both fault and benefits.
Wow.
Harlan? Oh, okay. I saw that Harlan had his hand up. Maybe he's not here.
Okay.
No, it was just that once. It was just the hand persisted.
Okay. So yeah, like what I can try to do in this case is try to recognize whether the content is a stringified JSON, but there is a limit to that rabbit hole, right?
I wouldn't. Yeah. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, there's precedent for this. Back in the early days of IPFS, someone set up an IPFS search, which just sniffed all the traffic going through the IPFS nodes, and then ran an open Apache project, as I recall, against it, which would try to determine the content types, and then make all the PDFs and SVGs and whatever people were throwing in IPFS actually searchable. So it's possible, totally possible.
Yeah, that view is a bit weird. Like both the entry contents and the headers activated, that's a bit weird.
And so if you click on a header, you can see it here. Yep. Yeah.
What do you mean? Like you are seeing it?
On the it's header contents. Yep. You're just clicking on that, and yeah.
Yeah, clicking the edge does nothing really.
Yeah.
And then that weird Zoom 0 entry ID 2. Ideally, I would want to change that to the entry ID, but the only thing that I know is the header. And if you click on the header, on one header, any header really, the only thing that you have is entry type, app, ID, and Zoom ID, which is what I'm using, right? So this is, in this DNA, this entry has been created in zone 0 in the array of zones. And in that zone, it's the third entry in the array of entry defs.
Yeah,
ideally,
we really need to get this stuff back so that you can see exactly what type it is. And it's not even zone listed, but the name of the zone, et cetera, et cetera.
That's also, I think, the introspection thing on app info, besides the function signatures.
And of course, it'd be nice to have the date as a real date.
Yep.
But, little things.
Yep. Not really that much to see for now. But yeah, like if you want to play with it a bit and also have some feature requests and bugs, they are going to be some bugs for sure in some edge cases, in private entries, or in links that have not propagated well. I expect there to be some bugs, but the basics should work.
Yeah. Wow. This is really, really awesome.
And then when
I hope this is going to be one of the favorite Holochain-in-Action videos because everybody will benefit from using this.
Yeah. And what I really love also is the run network thing. So you do npm run network and it's like fun. And you get a full demo of whatever many nodes you want with introspection enabled. It's like, ooh, we are starting to have something.
Yeah. All right, I'll stop sharing my screen unless anybody else would like me to go click on anything. Okay.
Cool.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you for driving with the enthusiasm. I'm really excited about this. It's been a lot of work. Like maybe, I don't know how many hours, but a lot of work. And it's like, I'm really happy about the way in which it could help developers understand really, really better. And also, if like I'm imagining, if you're in a hackathon and you're trying to convince people to use Holochain or whatever, and it's like, okay, you boot up a network and you do the npx Holochain Playground CLI pointing to them, like that's already really powerful as well. And I've also worked on demos for projects in which the demo was only the introspection with the playground, in which, okay, so you have the distributed nodes and see how the data comes from one point to the other. So like different possibilities. I'm really excited about this. So thank you for listening and sharing your excitement as well. That's really it. I don't know if you have any other questions about the playground, but maybe we can wrap it up if not. Cool.
Super cool game.
Yeah,
It's really
nice work.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Thank you. Cool. So yeah, we'll wrap it up for today, at least the recording. So bye YouTube, I guess. see you next week.